Hello, I'm Tyler, this is the Imaginary Axis, and if you're watching this video, then allow me to be the first to say, congratulations! You've been selected among humanity's finest to serve as a member of the Survey Corps, an elite division of the military dedicated to the exploration and reclaiming of uncharted lands beyond the walls that have given our civilization refuge from the outside world for so many years. We only recruit the strongest, the brightest, and the most emotionally stable soldiers available for this daunting task because you represent the hope of mankind. Sounds like a lot of pressure, doesn't it? Well, don't worry. The royal government is confident that with a little training, you'll be ready for what's out there. And I'm here to fill you in on the basics about the most dangerous threat to humanity: Titans. As most of you already know, mankind was once the dominant force on this planet. Historical documents tell us that we ruled for years before being dwindled down to what is left today. Make no mistake, we don't hide behind these walls because they look pretty. We were not driven to near extinction 100 years ago by accident. These mysterious monsters that we call Titans are barely understood, barely killable, and extremely hostile. If we want any hope of reclaiming the outside world, you will have to fight them. Titans typically range from 3 to 15 meters in height. They have an instinctual animal-like intelligence, and though they can survive without food or water, humans are their only prey. There are exceptions to most, if not all of these rules among what we classify as abnormal Titans. But generally speaking, the smallest class of Titan you'll find is about the size of a middle-class house. The largest Titan on record, though an abnormal, is the size of 20 houses stacked on top of each other. Or for better scale, just slightly taller than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Throughout the years, the Titans have consumed an estimated 600 trillion calories of human meat only to spit it back up. It's a game to them. Like 2.4 trillion hamburgers or 3.7 trillion potatoes chewed up and spat out to waste. Due to their immense size, it's only natural that Titans are significantly stronger than we are. A 15-meter specimen can easily punch with more force than 6,500 people working together, much more than what's necessary to pluck an unsuspecting citizen from their house or topple a 2-story building. During the Colossal Titan's breach of Wall Maria, it kicked with more energy than 8.7 billion people punching. In fact, that impact alone was stronger than 188 tons of dynamite, enough to annihilate a city block in one go. These things are monsters. They are frightening. They are our enemies. And here's how you're going to kill them. A Titan will heal from any damage done to it in a matter of minutes at most. We have reason to believe their bodies gather energy from the sun to make this happen, but a small area on the napes of their necks, exactly 1 meter high and 10 centimeters across, seems to be crucial to this healing mechanism. If you cut a Titan there, it will fall and burn as fast as they normally heal. As a soldier, it is your duty to strike that part of the enemy or be crushed and consumed by their superior might. That's why our royal government has provided everything you need to make this impossible victory a reality. The 3D Maneuver Gear. A marvel of modern technology created specifically to attack and kill Titans. The system is controlled by a pair of handheld mechanisms, which also serve as hilts for the wearer's swords. 2 triggers are used to launch and retract a pair of hooks that fire from the left and right compressed gas cylinders respectively. 2 canisters made from an ultra-hard steel that can withstand over 8,000 psi of pressure, the minimum needed to fire these hooks at speeds capable of penetrating concrete. It's the only way of reliably maneuvering around buildings and woods at heights necessary to reach a Titan's neck. And that PSI is nearly double the maximum conventional scuba gear from the old world was capable of handling before the valve exploded. The amount of gas contained within each of your cylinders is incredible. More than enough to propel you forward with the turbine at 65 meters per second after latching onto your target. almost 3 times faster than our best horses, which are specifically bred to go really, really fast. And that's good, because that means when properly equipped, you're faster than most Titans, a feat no normal human could accomplish on his own. Their reaction speed can still outmatch you, and should you find an abnormal that bothers running, it might be able to outpace you as well. So don't consider yourself invincible, but if you can master this gear, and you can outsmart a Titan, then you can kill a Titan. Outsmarting is the real trick here. Once you're familiar with your equipment, and you're familiar with your enemy, it's only a matter of putting the two together. Assume you're propelling toward a front-facing Titan at 65 meters per second. Your average Titan moves its arms and legs at just under 10 meters per second, but some have been observed going as fast as 514 meters per second. That's 1.5 times the speed of sound. Notice how this Titan manages to catch a cannonball fired at it from about 4.9 meters away. That amount of speed is unprecedented, but for the sake of your life, it's definitely worth observing. When reaching for their prey, Titans have a recorded speed range from 6.5 times slower than you to 7.9 times faster than you. That's where the most difficult part comes in. While propelling yourself through the woods and cities at neck-break speeds, it is up to you, dear soldiers, to keep a watchful eye on all of your surroundings. You'll be moving at speeds about this fast from your own perspective. Faraway targets will be within reaching distance in seconds, and you have to judge how fast they're moving and where they're moving to upon approach, while also keeping in mind all other targets, your comrades, your obstacles, your leverage points, your speed, and your line of motion. It would not be inaccurate to say that the #1 cause of death on the battlefield is failure to properly multitask. Notice your speed alone, with no Titan enemy. If you crash into a tree or building going this fast, it will have a worse impact on you than falling from 215 meters in the air, because you're moving about 10 meters per second faster than terminal velocity. Your circulatory system is also a matter of concern, because your body can't withstand certain speeds without forcing all of your blood away from its destination and making you pass out. Of course, a well-trained soldier's threshold for upward and forward motion is more than enough to avoid this problem, but remember that you can only accelerate downward at 29 meters per second squared or less without knocking yourself unconscious. So now you're avoiding obstacles, monitoring your speed, limiting your downward trajectory, targeting good pivot points, and positioning your own line of motion, all while traveling through the sky roughly 3 times faster than a sprinting horse, and all of a sudden, you come across a single Titan. You must now gauge its speed before entering reaching distance and develop a plan based on what you see. With 2 soldiers, assuming you keep all other factors in check upon approach, this becomes fairly simple, because Titans are stupid. There's the lob and whip approach, the disorientation approach, the carrot and stick approach, and many others. But again, this is the ideal scenario. If dealing with multiple Titans and a complex environment, which is more likely, the fight becomes much, much harder. So hard, in fact, that we could not possibly prepare you for every feasible scenario, which is exactly why we have a chain of command, to plan for these eventualities as they come. Assume you even have an ideal environment and a single Titan, but are limited to 1 soldier. The standard approach to attacking in this case would be the whip technique. Swing toward the target, let the momentum carry you around them, latch onto the back of their head or neck, and strike. But you need to estimate the Titan's reach and speed before approach. Otherwise, you might as well be engaging in a suicide mission. And with no other soldiers around, if you are not accurate to a T, you're lunch. At the end of the day, attacking Titans is an unpredictable part of the job that relies on your mental prowess just as much as your physical. It's a job about being vigilant, relying on teammates, feeling the situation, building experience, and doing lots and lots of math while you zip through the air, keeping your focus on a dozen different factors at once. Your royal government thanks you for your service, and we wish you the best of luck. Wait, have these guys invented television yet? Yeah, so it turns out they hadn't invented television yet after all. I guess my attempts to send a helpful PSA to another universe were ultimately in vain. It's probably for the best, though. I mean, scuba gear, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And even if you didn't, thanks for sitting around to the end, I guess. I have tons of other scientific fictional videos on this channel if you'd like to give me another chance. And if you really enjoyed what I do, then follow me on Facebook or Twitter, or check out my second channel, Imaginary Segments. I haven't really put much on it yet, but I plan to be releasing some material soon. More casual and fun material. Seriously, you should keep an eye on that channel, maybe even subscribe. And if you're considering doing that, then subscribe to this channel too. I mean, that'd be weird, subscribing just to the secondary channel and not the main one. But ultimately, these are just suggestions. You're in charge of your own destiny, so do whatever you want. But at least try to make sure that you have a fantastic day.